What's good, man? Happy Friday, man. Look, man, I got a very special guest in the house, man. You already know. Let's go. Man, we starting off 2025 and our first big interview, man. We got a special guest in the house, man. It is May 16th, and we going all the way up this year, man. Let's go, man, God willing. First, I just want to say I want to thank God for everything and give you all the praise and the glory, man. You already know. Man, big shouts out to my GOD. Man, we going to get it in today.
Thou Meta Vision, Media Vision.
Is an introduction really necessary for someone we all know so well?
Everything we do in Christ, man, we want to have knowledge, you know what I'm saying, on why we do it.
Ball Foundation and Crown Media Vision podcast. And here's where we starve our distraction, man, and feed our focus. Where testimonies becomes our motivation, where determination becomes our strength. So let God continue to guide you on your journey to success, man. Let's go. Yeah, this disclaimer. This podcast live thoughts and expressed opinions by the host are for entertainment and educational purposes. No one is exposing, revealing, or indicting or telling you anything about themselves.
Cloud Meta Vision, Media Vision.
Is an introduction really necessary for someone we all know so well?
Everything we do in Christ, man, we want to have knowledge, you know what I'm saying, on why we do it.
Yes, sir, man. So look, real quick. This lady I'm about to introduce to y'all, man, it's a blessing to have her in this building, man, to start off our 2025 year. And just to give you a rundown, man, she's very educated lady. And I'm so honored to have her in here again. She was a chief learning officer at Achievable Dream. She's a director of equity assessments and strategic operation at Newport News Public School. She was assistant principal at Jamestown. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Also, she was a principal at James Blair, and I got a little story for that. Let's introduce her right now. Crystal Haskins in the house, y'all. Give a big round of applause. Let's go. We are in the house, man. Let's go. Hey, so Crystal, being a principal at James Blair, how was that, man?
James Blair was wild. James Blair was before I tell you about James Blair, I got to tell you about Dozier.
Okay,
That's
let's
now
do
Ella
it.
Fitzgerald.
Okay.
I was principal in Newport News before I became principal in James Blair.
Mm-hmm.
So I was principal at Ella Fitzgerald. It was Dozier at the time. Now it's Ella Fitzgerald. They changed the name. And I was there for 2 years and had the opportunity to come and be the principal of James Blair. And what I didn't realize was that making the decision to come back home and be a principal, and then the next year we had the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
So I was principal there throughout the pandemic. Like 2020 was when
The
that
pandemic
happened.
was hard. That was
And
hard.
It was crazy. So that's why I say I had an amazing time, but it was also crazy because no one had ever experienced it. I had never experienced being a educator during something like that. That was a worldwide crisis that we walked through
I'm
together.
sure you got a lot of good nuggets out of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, again, like she and this talk about James Blair. I told you one time before, like I got kicked out of James Blair.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
Yeah, I got cut from the basketball team and everything. Coach Wise, that was back in the days. Coach Wise, he cut me. I said I'll make sure he regret that. So the next following year, I ended up I was in juvenile detention.
Shut up.
Yeah, I was that whole summer juvenile detention, man. I know you said something that was really when I was telling you how bad I was. You was like it was circumstances.
Nobody is bad.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I don't, and I definitely don't believe a kid is bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I had my I was a little bit of knucklehead when I was in youth like that. So I'm blessed to be here now though. To be able to
Absolutely.
tell that story, so I can make some type of difference.
Right.
So going back, so we talked about, you got a lot of stuff. I can't even begin to introduce all the things that you accomplished. So, can you share a memorable success story or achievement that has had a lasting impact on you?
Yeah. And before I tell you about that, and maybe that will go into this conversation, and this question is, this is amazing to do this. And to have this interview with you, with my husband and my daughter being here, my daughter getting to see this. This is something that I actually put on my vision board.
Okay.
That I wanted to share my message and share my experiences with people. And and I feel like I'm at the Breakfast Club right now. So like, that is, thank you for making one of my dreams come true, because this is dope.
Right.
Like, I'm a little giddy right now.
Yeah, this disclaimer. This podcast live thoughts and expressed opinions by the hosts are for entertainment and educational purposes. No one is exposing, revealing, or indicting or telling you anything about themselves.
Clown Meta Vision. Media Vision.
Is an introduction really necessary for someone we all know so well?
Everything we do in Christ, man, we want to have knowledge, you know what I'm saying, on why we do it.
That I'm on the right path, man.
This is crazy. So,
But it's hard to get people in here, though. It's hard to get people in
well, then
here.
y'all better come, because he got a whole setup. This is the real deal.
I try to, because I don't want to, when I first visioned it, like, if I show you a video, I didn't have, if you go to my Weed Ball Foundation page on YouTube, if you look at those videos, I'm going to pull it up real quick. Let me go here first. So I didn't have a table. I didn't have none of this stuff. I didn't even have a computer. All I had was an interface and a microphone. And I was doing some of the stuff by myself.
Yeah.
So that was, and then when I said, man, I got to keep going, because it sparked interest.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to get messages out to people about things that matter. And when I say things that matter in our community.
Right.
Because to be honest, we can listen to the Breakfast Club. We can listen to a lot of these like national, and I believe you'll be national. We can listen to these things, but how do they impact where we are and where we live and what we face every day? So this is amazing.
So
congratulations.
Thank you. It took a lot of patience and a lot of, I had to turn the noise down. I had to turn the noise down, the hearsays and all that. I had to turn the noise down, and it's had to be tunnel vision in a sense, to where, like, keep going. Don't let anybody deter you away from it. You know what I mean? So then, so I'm just blessed, man, that I'm here to see another day. Because as you know, if the people out there don't know that December the 4th, I had a stroke. In 2018, I had a real bad car accident, and I thought I was gonna die. And then fast forward to December 2024, December the 4th, I had a stroke. So, and then that scared the heebie-jeebies out of me. So to be here, to be able to move my left arm, to be able to say talk without slurring, and I can talk a little bit fast sometimes, but they tell me in therapy I got to slow down. Because sometimes I'll jumble up my words, so I'm praying that it don't happen tonight. But
you'll be fine.
But nevertheless, needless to say, but I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed to be here. So I always want to thank every day when I wake up. Thank you, God. Thank you for everything, man. Because this is no joke. It's no joke, and it makes you look at your health a little different too.
Absolutely.
earlier you was mentioning about the message. What's your message?
So my message is that we all have a purpose and a design for our lives. And every day that we spend on this earth, I believe that we are designed to get closer and closer and closer to what God has for us to do. But we got to keep our eyes and our ears open. And we got to look at the people around us that are in our lives, come into our lives, whether it be at the grocery store or some, just to pour into us and to help us build the momentum to do what we're supposed to do. So for an example.
But what if you don't get that though?
Well, a lot of times I think that we might think we don't get it, but like you said, sometimes you got to cut out the distractions.
Yeah.
And
that's real.
No, that is facts.
Yeah.
Because I just believe our God is too big not to give it to you. Mm-hmm. But it may not come the way you think it's going to come or the way it should come. Or you might discount that person who had that stroke in December and, had different things that they were dealing. You might discount that person, but look at you. I'm sitting right here right now living out something that's on my vision board.
Come on.
Because I'm able to listen right now. At this stage in my life, I don't have time for the distractions. So when you sent that text, I was like, babe, yo, he wanna interview. Like,
but I had to though. Like, it's like when I first met y'all, I think it was at the quarter path. Chase and my son, they was on the same team,
mm-hmm.
and that's when I was curious about who you guys was. I knew you were a Lassiter, mm-hmm. so I did an interview with Seneca too that needed to be finished. So I got to link up with him. Man, I know Bucky, mm-hmm. you know what I'm saying? So Bucky ran track, mm-hmm. Silk ran track. Little people that don't know, Silk can play ball.
He can.
He can play
basketball. I know he used to. I mean, I bet he still can. But I remember seeing him one day. I was like, yo, I didn't know you could. Yeah, he
can hoop for real.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him. He was at Bruton when he came down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. So, yeah. He can ball for real. So, yeah, man. Well, I'm just happy to have you on. I'm happy to be able to fill pieces of your vision board. I have no clue that was on your vision mm-hmm. board. But the way, like you say, like God works things out.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings things together. Because I have a hard time, with connecting with people. Maybe because of my past, I don't know. But mm-hmm. I tried to keep moving. I try to not to even think about too much of that stuff, man, because sometimes I just think, man, people used to like me better when I was on drugs than what I'm presenting right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like you want good for me or you want bad for me? Mm-hmm. And I say so sometimes I gotta turn down the noise.
Absolutely.
I say I gotta turn down the noise. So my next question is, how do you approach collaboration and building professional relationships?
So I've been a teacher. I've been an assistant principal. I've been a principal. I've worked at central office. I'm working at Achievable Dream right now. And
Achievable Dream. Oh, I don't mean to cut you off, but
right.
That's because I seen something on your page. Is that what that's?
Mm-hmm. Like that's where I work now.
Okay.
And like I am learning. I've been in education for 20 years, and I am learning that collaboration and relationships are built on your intent. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if this makes sense, but I truly believe that you will get everything you need professionally. You will find the people that are meant for you to do the work that's meant to be done when your heart is in the right place.
Right.
And I believe that when you keep your priorities straight and you know why you're there to do something, those people are going to come. But like you said, but if you got different intentions and different priorities, you will find those people too. So my approach now is to make sure that when I'm working with people or I have the opportunities to meet different people, new people, that I'm showing up as my authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
And that I am coming from a place of whatever we do, I want it to be for the good of all and the harm of none.
Mm-hmm.
And how can we work together to get those things done?
Was that a quote you just put out there?
Yeah, for the good of all and the harm of none.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about where I heard it from so I can give it credit, but basically just whatever I do, I want it to be for the good of all
Okay.
and no messiness if I can avoid it.
Yeah, this disclaimer. This podcast live thoughts and expressed opinions by the host are for entertainment and educational purposes. No one is exposing, revealing, or indicting or telling you anything about themselves.
Clown Meta Vision. Media Vision.
Is an introduction really necessary for someone we all know so well?
Everything we do in Christ, man, we want to have knowledge, you know what I'm saying, on why we do it.
Cause I love a saying that a quote that is by
That's the other thing. When I said my authentic self,
yeah.
I'm 43 years old. I'm just learning now how powerful I am. Like, I'm just learning now. Like, when I say showing up as my authentic self,
Yeah.
like, I don't have to walk into a room and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, not anymore. I used to.
It's gonna happen. You believe it already.
Well, hold on. I used to be very intimidated walking into certain spaces and sitting at certain tables, and because of that, maybe not using my voice the way I needed to use my voice or speak up, you know, but I'm starting to realize now, like, no, God actually has me here for a reason. So I have no reason. God has me here for a reason, and I have why would I cower? Why would I like dim my light to make somebody else feel comfortable? But at the time when I was doing that, it really wasn't to make other people feel comfortable. It was, I was comfortable staying the way I was. And nah, I'm done with that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome right there. That's awesome because I'm glad that you're able to, that you're here, that you want to show, so you can show these other young ladies, man. I just out here, the young ladies that's out here that's gonna be either graduating. My daughter's graduating. She will be watching this. I tried to get her to come, but she had to work. But I ain't gonna get in front of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for her, I'm very proud of her. But yeah, does it bother you that your energy intimidates others? Like
Does
when
it
you say,
bother me?
Yeah, does it bother you?
You know, I just did a self-evaluation at work. And before I did this, I had a couple of people that have told me in the past, like, oh my God, like, I can come across as being very direct. And I will say in certain instances, it can bother me if I feel like it gets in the way of the work. So and doing those self-checks, to make sure that I'm communicating in a way that I'm not the only person that needs to feel comfortable.
Right.
I got to make sure the person I'm talking with feels comfortable too.
Yeah, because I was nervous, sweating bullets.
Sweating bullets about what?
Nah, because I'm just saying, I mean, I looked at your resume like, wow.
Yeah, but you just played the thing about
Fear.
the fear of our own power. So
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Sir, I just want to say thank you. You saved my life.
But that's
of like God and timing
Yeah.
and synergy is because it's instances like this that take you out of a comfort zone, that take me out of a comfort zone.
well,
and
sometimes you gotta get uncomfortable to be comfortable.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, that's a part
this
of
is
the
one of these
process.
moments. This is one of these moments.
That's a part of the process.
Yeah. This is one of these moments. See, I'm still growing in this. That's why I say I'm so happy that that you accepted and we here, because I need this. I need to be able to. This one is great, but each one is I want it to be greater
And it will be.
each time.
And it will be. Absolutely.
So like when you talk about the deepest fear, I know God gives you that strength to be able to, you know what I'm saying, not let fear hinder me at all.
And you know what? Learning the voice of fear and learning the voice of God, right? Because immediately I thought, what I look like going on and talking about myself? You know what
Why
I mean?
not,
Like,
though?
like why do what? But that's the voice of fear.
Yeah.
Why would I go on there? You know, people know me. Why would I need to go and just like talk about like that's fear talking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Versus you just asked me what's my message, and my message is like helping people get to the place where God has for them.
Yeah.
If anything I can say or do to help position them, that's God speaking.
Right.
That's my purpose speaking. So
Right.
understanding when is this to help position them, that's God speaking.
Right.
That's my purpose speaking. So
Right.
understanding when is this, what am I saying to myself, and is this fear or is this the God in me? Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, it does. It making a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Out there, does that make sense to y'all? So my next question is, how do you maintain to work life balances, and especially in a demanding industry, which is the education sector? Do you see any improvements?
So I'm gonna say that we got to be careful how we say work-life balance, because I don't believe that anyone's work-life balance looks like the other person's. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is different. And I happen to have an amazing partner where I've been able to pursue things in my life and he put his life on hold. You know, or I'm not gonna say his life, because we be living together. But like for an example, when I went to get my doctorate, there was something that he was supposed to do for his job. He held off because our kids were young. I got pregnant with Chase. I started ODU for my doctoral. I had Chase on a Friday. I started class that Thursday.
Good
Which is-
gracious.
Bananas. And I had Caden, who was 20 months at the time. But I also had Albert, who was like, all right, we're going to go ahead and get this done.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just me doing it. It was us. But our work-life balance, somebody else is going to look at me and be like,
That's what it do. I know I done that. I put a lot of stuff aside for myself. You know what I'm saying? And let my significant other do her thing.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whether if it's me getting the kids and taking them there, do that, all that stuff. I do that anyway, but it won't nothing to take some pressure off of it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else. Also defining like what is God's purpose for me? Because I'm in a marriage, I'm in a great marriage, but I'm also an individual. Mm-hmm. So what is God's purpose for me? And because I remember always having a lot of mommy guilt because I'm working.
Well, mommy guilt. Let's explain it to everybody to understand. So
mommy guilt for me is feeling bad for not being as present with my kids the way I think I should be.
Yeah. Okay,
so if I am working late,
because people go through, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that go through that too.
Yeah, and then but I'm living in an environment in Williamsburg, and I listen to people who are stay-at-home moms.
Yeah,
I ain't never been. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always worked. I've never been in a situation where I get my kids on a bus in the morning, unless they sick or I got to take off. You know what I'm saying? But my husband has always done that. And normally the mom is the nurturer and I think I have that part too. But that's a role that just wasn't my role.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I think for other people who might listen to this, some people might have some opinions like, well, you know, moms should do this and fathers should do this, and
it seems like
that
it's
just
like
ain't, that just won't.
That's what you're supposed to be doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cut everything. You're not supposed to have a degree, or when you become a mom, does that shut down your life period?
And I think in the past there was a lot of. I've been able to do things because I live in this generation that my mom wasn't able to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Nah, cause it was times I know it was time for me. Like I'm not gonna be like I'm no saint or nothing. She had to pull the weight whenever I got myself in trouble because I was always in 143 at one point in time. You know, you know what I'm saying, for some reason, but she had to hold it down. So it was more like, you know what I'm saying, like I looked at her with great respect because I'm not there to do what I'm supposed to do. And then when it's my turn, of course, kick your feet up. Good, I got you. Don't worry about it. Is that type of relationship that you guys have?
so I'm gonna say yes and no. Like 50-50 does not exist in our house, I don't think, ever. Like sometimes it's 20-80, sometimes it's 5-95,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, I think sometimes we 100-100, like we both going in every different direction at the, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's, for us it is, we know we have a purpose and we are getting better at making sure that we communicate so that we don't bump that, so that we have more forward progress than we go backwards.
Right.
But
That's
it's a give and a take. It's not always pretty,
for the greater good.
but it's for the greater good.
Yeah.
But we've also been together.
So it's a beautiful thing, though. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a
is.
beautiful thing to see. And just for me being a parent and just watching my kids grow. So I guess it's awesome. I love to see that something like this, especially, that you guys work together the way you work together, because it's so much. I was talking about negative and positive content, right? And it's so much propaganda that's been instilled since then. You know, that people still look into those stereotypes and think it's us. So how do we change that narrative?
I think we changed that narrative by being a voice for the voiceless, by seeing the good in ourselves first, and then seeing the good in the people around us. And I'm gonna give you an example. When we talk about stereotypes, and especially, I'm coming from my experience, just my experiences as a human, but also being in education. If I don't see something in myself, I'm probably not gonna see it in you too. So if I don't believe that I am a beautiful, amazing, brilliant Black woman, it's gonna make me easy to talk about other Black women, and it's gonna make it easy for me to look at other people and think down on them.
Right.
But if I'm confident in myself, I have enough love in me to speak life into you versus tearing you down.
Right.
And I believe that I believe we give so much power to people outside of our community to define us because we're not defining ourselves.
Right.
And I don't know, I just believe that the more I work on myself, the easier it is for me to see the good in somebody else and to talk about the good in them and to spread that, as they say, and spread that good news versus finding things about people to complain about.
Right.
And I think the more we do that, the more we perpetuate a stereotype. If I'm constantly seeing the bad in the people I live around, and that's what I'm talking about, that's what I'm putting in the atmosphere versus seeing the good in them. That's why when you asked me the question about, I don't know if you asked me, but I was telling you, I don't see a bad kid. I don't see any kids as bad.
Actually,
I see circumstances. I see systems that are developed so that they because they don't want them to prosper. That's what I see. I don't see a kid as being bad. I see people not making good decisions for kids. So
yeah, I was gonna jump into the DEI, but I don't even want to jump into it now. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it's just like, yo, like this guy, you know, by doing what he did, right? It's mind blowing to me that, okay, basically, it's a Yahoo article. Blavity News. It says, the headline says, did President Trump DEI executive order really cancel multiple national holidays? So as I read down, the article was written by a Yahoo article. Blavity News. It says, the headline says, did President Trump DEI executive order really cancel multiple national holidays. So as I read down, the article was written by Robin. I don't know if you can see that. I can't pronounce his last name.
I can't either. Zabiagalski?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't even yeah, big facts. Yeah, man, again, this will conclude our interview, yo. Yo, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody, big round of applause for Crystal Haskins, man.
Thank you.
Awesome. Until next time, fellas, ladies, peace.
Learning the voice of fear and learning the voice of God, right? Because immediately I thought, what do I look like going on and talking about myself? You know what I mean?
Why not,
Like why do? But that's the voice of fear.
Yeah.
Why would I go on there? You know, people know me. Why would I need to go and just like talk about like that's fear talking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Versus you just asked me what's my message, and my message is like helping people get to the place where God has for them.
Yeah.
Learning the.
All right.
That was cool.